Hey guys, welcome back to the Superman Vault. My name is Zach. I have one of the largest private collections of Superman memorabilia in the world. And in today's episode, we're going through one of my favorite TV shows, Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman, starring Dean Cain and Terry Hatcher. About 2 weeks ago, I had the chance to interview Mr. Dean Cain at the Metropolis, Illinois Superman celebration, and it got me thinking, what collectibles are out there from the TV show? Because since the TV show was targeted more towards adults, adult collectibles weren't really as big of a thing in the early 90s there. There's not as much out on the market for the show as what there is for some of the new iterations, like Man of Steel, Superman Returns. Tons of collectibles out on the market. There wasn't that much for Lois and Clark. So I got a couple things I want to show you that you can look for your own collections. I've also got a pretty cool piece of history I just recently picked up that I'm super excited about, and I'm going to show you that at the very end. So make sure you watch the video all the way through, and if you're not yet, make sure you subscribe to this channel for all the coolest Superman videos coming your way. First thing I want to get into right here is this amazing set of Lois and Clark, New Adventures of Superman trading cards. This was done by Skybox, and they produced several packs of trading cards. I have a complete set in here. The trading card packs also came with tattoos. So these temporary tattoos featuring the Superman emblems in different colors. And one collector pin per box had this amazing Lois and Clark pinback button featuring Dean Cain and Terry Hatcher. So again, these are a little bit tougher to find because they only came per one box, whereas the tattoos came in every single pack. This piece here was done a little later in the series. I believe this was done to promote the DVD launch. It's only something, I think. And then, of course, it's got the Lois and Clark logo at the bottom. But it also has a Wonder Woman logo. So I think they released the Wonder Woman DVDs around the same time as this. So still sealed up. A pretty cool promo piece right here from the show. Several magazines from the show put out, or at least where Dean Cain and Terry Hatcher were on the cover. Of course, for their time, they were both what we would consider sex symbols. The show was designed to make Superman a little bit more adult and kind of take a steamy rom-com approach to the show, or to the character, which had never been done before. These unassuming blue bags are actually pretty cool. So these are original test suits. These are spandex suits in two different colors of blue. These came from production and were used to test on Dean Cain to see which color they liked better. Obviously, the one on the left here resembles more of a Christopher Reeve style blue, and the darker blue on the right is the one that they ended up going with, a little bit closer to the actual costume color design. Whether this is the exact fabric match or whether they made another alteration, I don't have a full Dean Cain suit here, unfortunately, so I don't know. But pretty cool pieces of history here that came directly from the production of the show. If you need some summer reading, this could be your option right here. So they did several paperback books and at least one hardback book that I'm aware of. They also did a comic book trade paperback adaptation of the show. So there's a lot of reading material out there for you. Again, they didn't make a lot of toys for the show because it was aimed more for adults. But they did do some reading material if you're interested in adding some books to your shelf. Believe it or not, there was actually a licensed Valentine's Day card for the show. And I'll show you on the back, 1994, official show merchandise. And it says right on the front, I'm expecting Valentine's Day to be anything but mild-mannered. Another cool piece you can still get fairly inexpensively. These were given out on the show. I've heard they were like internal cast and crew notepads here, so you couldn't buy these. But again, you can pick them up on eBay from time to time for not all that expensive. So a pretty cool piece that should be attainable for even the newest collector. This is another pretty cool piece here that came directly off a studio. I've heard it was for parking. I've heard it was to kind of designate what doors for what studios for the filming. But regardless, this is an internal Lois and Clark New Adventures of Superman sign. I have had it signed by a couple different people. So Dean Cain, to being the most significant one on here. Kay Callan, who played Clark's mom, Ma Kent. And then Michael Landis, who was season 1 Superman before being switched with Jimmy Whalen, I believe his name is season 2. Who was your favorite Jimmy? Season 1, Michael Landis, or season 2? Let me know in the comments. All right, guys. Well, hey, you made it into the last part of the video, and I made a promise to you just a few minutes ago that if you hung in this long, I'm going to show you one of the coolest new pieces, probably my favorite pickup for the year 2025. So a couple months ago now, I guess, I had a gentleman reach out to me through social media. He said, Zach, I know you're looking for some rare Superman pieces, and hey, I think I might have something that fit the bill. So he told me that he had been buying stuff from one of the original model makers for a lot of famous TV shows and movies. The guy had worked on Terminator 2. He'd worked on some of the Ghostbusters franchise. He'd worked on True Lies. So a lot of cool stuff that this guy had done. And anyway, the guy that reached out said he'd picked up a couple Superman pieces that weren't really fitting his collection. Wanted to know if I'd be interested in purchasing. What Superman franchise, you ask? You guessed it. Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman. So let's show you what I'm talking about. Okay, we'll see who are the true fans of the show. There's a couple really cool pieces here. Let's break them down. So let's show you right here. This is pretty cool. So these are pieces of the Daily Planet building. Right here that were kind of adhere to the outside of the miniature. These over here are a number of miniature little trucks, construction equipment, all kinds of stuff here that was used for the scene with the space station. But speaking of the space station, here's probably the most amazing pieces I've seen surface from the show. Check this out. This is the original space station Luthor model that sits on John Shay's desk as Lex Luthor. When he presents to the party his ambitions to bring Lex Luthor to space. Now, if you remember the pilot episode of this show, he gets mad and he breaks this apart. So how does it still exist, you might ask? Well, there were two models made. So these are broken pieces of this model. He made two of them. And so this is breakaway glass. So there was one panel of this made that was designed to break. There's some of the original pieces to that right there. And then he crumbles these broken pieces in his hand. Of course, they wanted to have a backup close up with a little bit more detail so they can use in those other shots, but absolutely amazing. Here's my other, probably my favorite piece. This is the Space Shuttle EPRAD. Check that out. This is the original filming miniature used with the miniature Superman figure at the bottom. And this was used with lighting to make it look real on screen. Check that out. Of course, it's flipped in the picture I'm about to show you. But just really cool, amazing piece of Lois and Clark history, and I'm super excited to be able to own. Obviously, I haven't even got these on display yet, so that can tell you how fresh this is. But yeah, super pumped. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this inspired you to expand your own Lois and Clark collections. Please, if you haven't yet, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. The Superman Vault here on YouTube, Superman Vault on Instagram, on Facebook. Join the action. We have a great group called Superman Collectibles Buy, Sell, Trade, Share. We'd love to have you on there to join the community. And make sure you keep checking back for more videos because we got a lot of cool, awesome stuff to share.